Hello and welcome back to the show. So today we are going to be talking about a topic I think a lot of real estate agents are going to be interested in, and that is how to generate leads and run your business through YouTube video marketing. That has been a hot topic recently and for good reason. And today we are having a guest come on to talk a little bit about that and share his story on how he was able to generate over $1 million in real estate sales in his first 18 months of launching his YouTube channel. His YouTube channel has now over 8,000 subscribers, and his name is Steve Thomas. So, Steve, I want to welcome you to the show, and just want to say I'm excited to have you here.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much, Kobe, for the opportunity. Just to clarify, because I don't want it to be misconstrued at all. We'd made $1 million of commission, not $1 million in sales, right? Within our first 18 months of having a YouTube channel. And this just completely blew my mind because I realized, like, at a very early point in starting this, the power of video, which we'll talk about shortly. But if it's okay with you, I'd just kind of like to tell everyone how it all started, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of similarities in my story to a lot of other agents out there. So as you can probably tell, I have an accent, right? I'm not born in the United States. I grew up in Liverpool in England. I started working as a radio producer. I was a producer for the BBC in radio for about 7 years. And then I left doing that to go traveling around the world with a good friend of mine. And I'll cut a very long story short, but I basically sent my resume off to a company that I thought was going to help me make some money while I traveled around the world. And this company was based around the Caribbean, called Diamonds International. And to this day, I don't know how it happened, but my resume landed on the desk of an art dealer in Miami. And I knew nothing about fine art, but he was actually originally from England. And he met me in England, and we spoke about his business, and he actually ended up hiring me. And part of our business model was taking fine art on cruise ships around the world, selling it on different high-level cruise lines. And my wife ended up being a dancer in the shows on board. We met, and I decided to quit what I was doing and start doing real estate. Was so naive that I didn't even research how real estate agents generated business. I thought that you went to real estate school, you got your license, you went to a brokerage, and they were like, hey, here's Mrs. Smith that wants to buy a house. Here's, Mr. Jones that wants to sell a house, right? Help them. And that was a very, very rude awakening for me, because I went and I picked Berkshire Hathaway because I thought it's owned by Warren Buffett. This is like the top premier company. It's got to be one of the best in the world. And, I'm not going to say anything bad about the company, but I'm just telling you that they didn't give me any leads. And then I started realizing, wow, okay, I've got to generate business all on my own. So how do I go about doing it? And then I started, kind of just shadowing agents in our office that were doing a lot of business. And I guess I was kind of like smart enough to see what people were doing and then want to replicate what they were doing, because nothing's ever been done before, right? No one's really the first person to do something. So I figured that there's a lot of guys and girls in the office that were cold calling. They were doing that every day religiously. The ones that were very successful were very determined. They were very regimented, and they did it consistently. They had a great follow-up process. They had a whole system built for generating business. Now, I've got ADD. Me standing still or like standing in a cubicle and cold calling for hours at a time it's my worst nightmare. So that was not for me. I found very quickly that was not a way that I could succeed in real estate through just cold calling purely. So then I started thinking, what else is out there? All right. Is it open houses? Is it door knocking? Is it Facebook ads? Is it Instagram? And then what happened is my wife said to me, she goes, do you know, and we were having dinner one night. She goes, I went on that YouTube channel that you started a few years ago, and you know the video that you put on there has got 1,000 views. I was like, what? And this was a video that I did of when I tell you I put zero effort in, I literally put zero effort. I just walked around a new build house in Las Vegas and didn't even introduce myself. I didn't tell anyone call me. I literally just walked around this house and showed this $1 million luxury house. I don't even know why I bothered uploading it. But anyway, I'm really glad I did, because when she told me that it had 1,000 views, it then like was that light bulb moment. I realized, well, wow, okay, what would happen if I actually put some effort in? And then I started researching other agents that were successful in YouTube and so that had channels and stuff. And then I started looking at the sales and I was like, whoa, you're kidding me. This guy did however many million last month, and he's doing it all from YouTube. And then, you know, that was when the catalyst and the fire went off, I guess, to going deeper into it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's a great story. And I think a lot of agents, like you said, will resonate with that because, most new agents coming in the industry are very similar to kind of a position that you were in. They don't, when I joined the industry, I didn't even know what the word lead generation meant. So it didn't resonate, right? It didn't resonate with a lot of people that they have to go and generate their own business. And really, I think recently YouTube has been a very popular strategy just amongst a lot of people just because of the versatility it has and the really power it has throughout the internet and the search engine. So just first and foremost, using YouTube versus all the other strategies that are out there, right? Facebook ads, cold calling, door knocking, open houses. Why is it that this strategy is so powerful and so powerful so quickly, in your opinion?
That's a really great question. Well, anyone that's any good at sales or understands sales, they know the secret behind sales is people buy off who they know, like, and trust. Right? When I'm cold calling, I'm just like calling your house and calling another house and blah, 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 blah. I'm going fishing, and I have to go fishing like consistently in order to find those, those people. And you might speak to 100 people, right, and get three leads out of it. One of the reasons video works so well is people can actually, first of all, see you before they decide to call. And I think that this is something I just want to touch on like really quickly is I don't want people, anyone that's out there that's listening to your podcast now, Kobe, that's like, oh, I want to start a YouTube channel, but I'm afraid of like how I look or how I sound or something like that, right? Because this is a big barrier, I think, for a lot of people. I want you to literally put that aside because there's somebody out there that is just like you, right? And when you're able to put that aside and just deliver content that offers value, that positions yourself as an expert, like all of the rest of it doesn't matter, because people want to work with people that are like them, that they know, that they understand that as an expert and that they feel like they can trust. And you're able to do that extremely quickly on video because people can, like, I won't go too deep on this, but we've been around as a species a very long time, right? There's instinctually it's built into us to make a snap decision on whether we can trust somebody very quickly, because it's just hardwired into us. And I think that it's very evident when we've all seen people do videos and you're like, that guy looks like, or girl sounds like a fraud, or they're faking it. It's not authentic. And I think that when you're authentic and you're able to provide value for what somebody is searching for, which I'm sure we'll talk about shortly, you're now being able to put your content in front of people that are looking for a problem for you to solve. And now you're the expert that can solve them.
Right. Absolutely. So it's definitely just something that just creates that trust right off the bat without you having to prospect each individual person, because the videos, as most people will say, are prospecting for you while you're making another video, showing a house, doing something else, and other people can kind of see you and they can make a decision, like you said, immediately whether or not they want to work with this person or not, just from watching your video. So it's a really powerful tool.
100%. And like as we speak, our channel, it's just been viewed 1 million times. Now, how many, like, I could not have spoken to 1 million people or had 1 million people see my brand or see our group, you know, in that 3-year period. Now, I could have, right? But it would have cost me hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to get that sort of exposure. And it's often about quality of exposure, not quantity. And you know, when you're able to create content that people want to see, you know, create content that provides value, then you're halfway there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just about providing what people are looking for. And I think this is, you know, kind of a good transition into, I think, what a lot of agents want to know, which is, you know, what type of content are the best performing content out there, right? There's a ton of videos out there, you know, people that do home tours, people that do, you know, we call it talking head videos, where you just sit there and talk about, you know, certain topics about whether moving to or from, you know, the city that you're working in. So in your kind of experience working your YouTube channel, what have you seen are, you would say, the best performing topics out there in terms of video content that agents should be producing in order to generate leads?
Sure. So I won't speak for what anyone else does, because I'm only an expert in what we do, and I'll share with you guys exactly my strategy. There's 4 types of videos that you need to make, right? And the first one is going to be a market update video. You need to do a market update video every single month. The reason you need to do a market update video is because, in my opinion, it differentiates you from most other agents that don't do them. Now, I know in our market, there's agents that just do home tour videos. My clients watch them. They tell me, I saw, you know, I watched them, but who did they call? Right. And the reason that you do the market update videos is it basically differentiates you from everybody else. When you're in real estate, what's the first question that, when you're in real estate, someone asks you, right? How's the market?
How's the market?
Right? How's the market? It's the very first question someone asks you, like whether I'm playing golf, I'm pumping gas, I'm in the grocery store. Like, if someone, they always ask you, how's the market? And when you start doing market update videos, and I have to tell you that this wasn't my strength at first. One of, I guess, the sides of having ADD is, like, sometimes I struggle with looking at numbers and things, but my wife's the analytical one in out of the pair of us, and we have this channel together. She's licensed, and you know, we create these videos. But when anyone asks you how the market is, it's important that you know how the market is doing, right? And so that you can speak directly to them, because it matters if you're a buyer or you're a seller. It matters where you're shopping, right? Like, there's like, real estate is not just local, it's hyper local. And when you're able to start positioning yourself as an expert, that you really deeply understand and know the market, which you show them that you do month over month, because you do these videos consistently. It's not just once every now and again, like, you do it every month. A March update, an April update, a May update, right? You continuously do those. So market update videos, do those once a month. They don't need to be, you know, any longer than, ours are normally about 20 minutes. We found that that's the sweet spot. But I found with all content, as long as you're continuing to provide value, people will watch it. So market update video is very, very important. Next type of video that we do is what we call an educational video. Now, an educational video is going to be something like the cost of living in Austin, Texas, the cost of living in Las Vegas, the cost of living in your area. It's going to be 5 things that I love about living in this place, like 6 things I hate about living here, 10 reasons to move here. You know, like not real estate related, as in you're showing houses and talking about houses, but you're talking about the quality of life and showing them, giving them education on what it's like living there. Next type of video you're going to want to do is a community tour, because with YouTube, what's different, you know, to most lead generation strategies is the people that are searching on YouTube don't generally live where they're searching. They're searching to find out and get an idea of what it is like in that place. So if you start creating community tours of all of the different communities in your area, when anyone's searching for those, then you're going to start becoming prevalent. And the last one is a home tour, right? As we know, like they are very, very popular. But I think for anyone that's listening to this, Kobe, and they're taking all of this in and they're getting some ideas. The one tip, and this is a little golden nugget for you guys that I would strongly, highly recommend dialing in and focusing on, is becoming an expert in something. Right? Don't be a real estate agent that's a jack of all trades, like where you're showing single family houses and townhomes and high rises and luxury or blah blah blah, right? Like, are you sure you've heard the saying, the riches are in the niches, right? So when you you have to be brave when you're doing this, because you're going all in, telling someone that you're the expert in something. But I can 100% promise you it works. And the reason I know it works is because that's exactly how I built my team. When my wife and I started our channel in 2019, in 2022 or 2021, she fell pregnant, and we knew that we were going to have a baby. And now Kristen's going to be, her time's going to be committed in other areas and stuff. But I knew the potential of a YouTube channel because I had one. I knew the amount of leads that were coming in, but I was very worried about bringing other people into our channel because I thought it was, heavily focused around people liking us. But what I obviously realized is what I'm practicing, what I'm preaching, it's about the value. It's not about the person. And what now we've done with our team is we're not a jack of all trades real estate group. We have a high-rise expert. We've got a first-time home buyer specialist, right? I'm looking for someone that's going to be a veteran specialist working with, active military and veterans. I want someone that's a retirement specialist. So like, for those of you guys and girls that are out there, like listening to this and you're getting excited and maybe on the fence about starting a YouTube channel, I would say and suggest to you, focus in on first of all, creating an avatar of who the type of person that you want to work with is. This is how we became so successful. We did 30 million in our very first year just by doing this. And this is what all smart marketers do, is you reverse engineer everything. Create an avatar. Who's the type of person I want to work with? Where do they live now? What's their situation? Are they moving up buyers? Are they first-time home buyers? Are they moving down buyers? Are they relocating buyers? What's their education? How much money do they make? Do they have a family? I mean, get really, really direct and granular in figuring out who these people are that you want to create your content for, the types of person that you want to attract. And then when you do that intentionally with all of your content, your market update video, your educational videos, your community tours, your home tours, guess what? They start calling you, right? And this is really, it's just the kind of the tip of the iceberg, because the lead generation in terms of like, YouTube marketing is just the beginning. What you've got to do when you've got them you've got them excited, right? Is you've got to convert them into clients. Right. So how do you do that? Right. And I know I'm talking a lot, Kobe, so please interrupt me, if you've got anything you want to say here. But I would say that the call to action that people need to place on their videos, like, be very intentional about it. Tell people multiple times that you are the expert. Tell them to visit your website to find out more information about you. Tell them how they can contact you. Call me, text me, email me. Give people multiple ways of reaching out to you, and make sure that you do it in every single video. And once you start telling people that you're an expert, showing people that you're an expert, and giving people ways to be able to contact you that's efficient and in ways that makes sense to them, they do.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad you brought that point up, just because I think a lot of agents out there who are creating great content, or even just, outside of the real estate industry, people who have big followings, who want to leverage that following, but they don't necessarily know how to turn the views into clients. Like you were just saying, they might have a lot of views on their channel, they might have a lot of eyeballs, but they're not doing the things like you were just talking about to convert these eyeballs, these views, this attention into actual leads, actual business that they can then, convert into sales. So that's really important. And that is, like we were just talking about here, the call to action. So kind of like in what you guys do in your channel, I know you mentioned like just talking about it in the video, telling people to contact you, but is there any other places? I know, with YouTube, there's different places you can place links and you can place call to actions. Is there any one that you've seen that you would say works the best, or there needs to be a combination of all of them? And what are some of these things that I think just absolutely that agent must have on their video in order to convert views into leads?
Great question. So I'd say that you need to look at this whole process as a funnel, first of all, right? Now, at the very top of your funnel is your YouTube channel, right? And your YouTube channel's there to start spreading awareness of what you do. Once you've spread awareness of what you do, you now got to get them in the funnel, right? So for us, we use our website, the thomasgrouplv.com, as our landing page, right? Because we know that once you go onto our website, it's pretty impressive. You see that we've been featured on Fox. We see that you've been published in places. Like you see positive reviews about us. You see blogs that we've written. We convert every single video that we create into a written blog, and we post that on our website, because this is like I look at it almost like a multi-pronged approach, right? Like once you've got them in the funnel, we've now got to give them value, right? And so how do we give them value? On our website, once I'm sure you guys will go check it out, you're able to do multiple things on our website, which allows us to get your contact information. One of the things that we've started doing or that we found that works really well is what we call a driving tour. Now, a driving tour is basically a map that we've created, and we've put, the most popular points out from like A to Z, and then correlated each letter with an address. So if you want to go to, I'm just, like Caesar's Palace, I'm just going to spit out something that people are familiar with, right? That's going to have the location of Caesar's Palace, and they can go and drive and see what Caesar's Palace is like. Location B is going to be, somewhere else, and blah, blah, blah. Because we got to realize real estate agents are one of the most hated people in the world, right? And we've got to try and change that like very quickly. And people are often afraid to reach out to real estate agents because they don't want to be pressurized. They don't want to commit too soon. They don't want, they want to do things on their own, which is totally fine. So what we do is we leverage a psychological principle called reciprocity, which, if nobody's familiar with reciprocity, I'll briefly describe to you what it is. If someone's ever done anything nice for you, do you feel like you want to do something nice back for them? That's reciprocity, right? And how we're able to leverage reciprocity is on our website, we create driving tours, which they're able to then go and download and then do on their own. But of course, once they download it, we get their phone number, we get their email, and we send them an email or a call. Hey, Kobe, I just saw that you downloaded our driving tour. Just wondering that once you've done it, if you want to grab a coffee, my shout, I'd love to just sit and chat with you about, the places you like, the places you didn't, or maybe answer any questions with you about, Las Vegas. Right? And it's just a very kind of like nonchalant, lighthearted, method to be able to start building rapport, to start building these connections with people. So offer value on your website, right? Make sure you're positioning yourself as an expert. If I'm sure there's people out there that are listening to this podcast and they've won awards and stuff, like show people that you're an award winner, right? Like there's nothing wrong with a little bragging right here and there, and positioning yourself for everyone. So where I'm going with this is everyone needs a landing page. You must have a landing page at the very minimum. Now, once you send your people to the landing page, then, it's up to you what you do from there. But my recommendation is that you give them multiple ways to contact you. We use a system called Acuity, which I know you use Calendly.
Yeah.
They're very similar, right? They tie directly to our calendars. So when anyone goes on our website and they want to schedule a free consultation with us, which is what we push, free consultation, then they are able to do that in a method and a way that makes the most sense to them. So when they start this schedule a free consultation, we can do it over phone, we can do it via Zoom, we can do it in your house, we can do it in the office. We can do it whatever way makes that person feel the most comfortable, right? Because that's what you want. You don't want to just give someone one option, because some people don't like Zoom, some people don't like whatever, right? So give them as many options to ways to contact you that you can. And then once they're in your funnel, now it's about providing more value, right? They're there now in the funnel, so you can send them your market update video every single month. You can send them your just listed, your just sold. You know, you're able to keep them top of mind, keep yourself top of mind, right? Which is like what the goal is behind all of this. Is when anyone thinks about buying or selling, they want to think of you. And essentially this is how you're able to do it, right? You're going to get some people that will call you from your YouTube channel that are ready to buy right now, but a lot of them won't be. They'll be looking and fishing around and researching other agents and stuff. So you've got to realize there's competition out there. So you have to be on your A level in order to be able to start securing as much business as you can and not leaving any on the table. And essentially that's how we do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's so important to treat it like a funnel, like you mentioned, because a lot of agents, they think, you know, I'm going to put out a piece of content or I'm going to put out a video and people are just going to call me, close the sale, have the house they want to buy, and all I have to do is sign my name on the contract, and that's it, right? That's clearly not the case. Now, there might be people who do that who are just ready to go immediately, but yeah, definitely, you have to have a funnel. You have to have, like you said, a follow-up system to keep yourself top of mind, so that whenever somebody clicks, you know, on a link that you link them out to your video or something else they find on your website, they're still able to keep in contact with you, still able to receive more value from you. So that way they're not dropping off, kind of, you know, looking at other agents or contacting other people. And, you know, you're still able to kind of capture their attention that way. So that's a really great tip. I think, you know, if people building out channels, you know, to keep that in mind is, you know, your YouTube channel is just the top of the funnel. And then it goes down deeper into that for you to then convert them into a lead and a sale. So
Yeah,
it's really important.
very much so, right? With drip campaigns, email campaigns and stuff. And for someone that's out there that might be a new agent, you're like, oh shoot, I don't have, you know, a website or any money for that sort of thing. Like, very least, right? Put your email address and your phone number on there. But how you can utilize YouTube to be, you know, retargeting them is you tell people to subscribe to your channel, right? Then it does it for you. Whenever you release content, they'll see it. So I think there's often a lot of basics that people forget, right? People forget to. I'm coaching an agent right now that's got a YouTube channel, and he's like, and he did this amazing market update video, and he's like, you know, if you need anything, call me. But then he didn't put his phone number, tell his phone number or anything on the video. I'm like, how's anyone going to know? Right. So you got to just remember that our goal behind every bit of content we create is to ultimately get that person to call you. And don't ever feel ashamed in asking them to do that and asking them multiple times. And quite frankly, if you're a good agent, you should know that there are a lot of terrible agents out there, and you were doing an unjust service to your viewers by not telling them to reach out to you, because they might go and work with someone else that doesn't do a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's actually a really good way to actually look at it is, you know, if you're a good agent, if you know you're doing a good job, you know, make sure to tell people that you're doing a good job, because there's a lot of people who might not be doing as good of a job that are telling everybody they're doing a great job. And if you're not telling people about how great of an agent you are, you're actually doing them a disservice. So that's a really good way to look at it. And just on that note, and just for like, I think another thing, a lot of agents who are looking into YouTube or who have channels who really want to know more about how to scale their channels, right? What do you think is the best way for an agent or anybody with a YouTube channel to get their videos in front of viewers? So I know YouTube is a search engine platform,
Mhm.
and there's a lot of things that goes on in terms of behind the video, how you phrase the video, what you title the video, different things you want to, the tagging, the description, everything else. So, kind of walk us through that if you don't mind, of how you guys are getting people to view your videos as like cold leads and turning them into viewers that way.
Sure. Yeah. So the first thing you've got to do is you've got to know what type of content people want to see, right? And how you find out what type of content people want to see is through what people are searching for. And there are different platforms out there online. TubeBuddy is one of them, for example, in which you can basically see what people are searching for, right? So let's say I want to do a video on living in Las Vegas, right? I'll type in living in Las Vegas, and then it's going to tell me all of the different keywords, all of the different search phrases, all of the different things that people are searching for relative to the topic that I want to create. And then what I do is I then figure out what's going to be the type of video that will get the most views, that's got the least amount of competition. Now, sometimes the most amount of views also do have the most amount of competition, and that's okay as well. Like, I'm not saying don't do those, but that's what I do. So we find we're very strategic in it, right? We look at what people are searching for, and then we will craft that type of content based on what those people are searching for. Once we then know what people are searching for example, cost of living in Las Vegas, I'll then put that in the title. I'll then include that in the thumbnail. I'll definitely be including it in the description of the video. I will 100% make sure I am talking about it too, right? Because you've got to realize that Google's a very smart company, right? They're not just searching for what we're writing. They're knowing what we're saying too. So when you're able to, and you don't overdo it, right? You sprinkle it in correctly, right? And you craft your presentation on the cost of living. And you're mentioning it, the cost of living in Las Vegas, the real estate market, blah, 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 whatever it is. And then once you're doing this, providing you've created, good content and the video looks nice and the editorial works is great. Like that's basically all you need to do, right? It's not like there's no, big rocket science to it. But what I would say, if you want to start getting a little bit more in depth into it, like if there's people that are already out there and are already doing that, if you're not adding chapters to your videos, I would say that you should definitely start adding chapters to your videos. Now, for someone that doesn't know what that means, you can go and look at you can check out our YouTube channel, right? The Thomas Group Las Vegas, and you'll see that we chapter our videos. And what that does is it allows people that are searching for something that don't want to watch the whole video, the ability to go and watch just the amount of the thing that they want to watch in order to get the answer to the thing they're looking for. And this is again as a form of reciprocity, right? Because if I feel like someone's done the work for me there, and I'm like, okay, I don't need to go anywhere else. I'm going to call this guy, right? Like I found that I liked him. He knows what he's talking about. Got an impressive website. Blah blah blah. Like, well, I don't need to go anywhere else. Like, it doesn't make so chapter. The other thing about chaptering is right, YouTube is owned by Google. So once you're able to create content that people want to get seen, and then people start viewing it and you chapter it, there's a very, very high likelihood that when people start searching on Google for the same subject, your video pops up. I'm sure you guys have seen those, like when you're searching for something on Google, it's like a how-to video or whatever pops up of someone's YouTube channel. Same thing happens with us, right? So you really utilize that to your advantage. And then I'd say that like the last thing that people need to be doing is repurposing the content. Like if you've got a website, which again I highly recommend you have, you should be turning all of your videos into blogs, right? And what we do is we have a copywriter that takes all of our videos, and then they don't transcribe it like word for word. It's written out authentically, right, from a real person, not AI or anything like that. That's providing value in a written format. So now what happens is, when you've got your website that's constantly being updated with the videos that you're already publishing on YouTube, because you publish them on your website as well, right? Links to it. And now you're putting a blog on your website with all of your content and your words and your keywords and stuff relative to the video. I mean, come on, right? Now we're talking about, this is high level stuff. And this is how now your website starts generating organic traffic. It's how your website starts generating leads for you, right? And now what we've done is we've just essentially just taken one media, which is video, we've repurposed it and been very smart and intentional about how we do it. And now we're getting our eyes seen. I love this quote, and I put this in, we'll talk about this in a little bit, but I did a 90-minute webinar on our strategies, and I'll share this with everybody shortly. But I want you to think about this. I'm not the best real estate agent in Las Vegas. I'm sure there's tons of agents that are better than me, that are more diligent and everything. But it's not about being the best. It's about being the most known.
Absolutely. That's a quote, I think, from Grant Cardone as well. It's not about the best product. It's the best known product, or the most known product, right? In our case, it's the most known agent. So it's really powerful there, because I mean, I can definitely guarantee, with all the content that you put out there, if any agent wants to kind of do this, they will be the most known agent in their market, right? If you're putting out videos, you're putting out blog posts to generate organic traffic on your website as well. It's really powerful, because it's, like you said, it's direct to search. Somebody's searching directly for the information, and then you show up as the expert providing the value and the knowledge. So it's a really powerful system, the Google and just entire YouTube search engine, in my opinion. So
massively,
I think, yeah. And I think another thing I think agents want to know is the consistency. They want to know how consistent, or maybe you can touch on how consistent you guys are when it comes to putting out video. Is it once a month, couple a week? How consistent does an agent have to be in terms of producing the actual content? And what are some strategies that you guys have been using? Maybe it's batching videos or different things like that can actually help an agent stay more consistent in terms of their content production. Because as we all know, realtors are super busy. They're always running around different places and different things like that.
Yeah. So, consistency is the key, right? To anything, where in any type of prospect, any type of business, right? Success, consistency is always the key. We found that the sweet spot is 3 videos a week. Now, that might sound like a lot and super overwhelming to people. If that is, do 2, right? But do at least 2 videos every single week, and treat this seriously, like time block. I know, like, we're busy people, and we I've get called out for showings and stuff. Right. But what this is my 8th year in real estate. I practiced real estate, what I call the hard way, for 5 years. Right now, I've got a YouTube channel. This is the easy way, but I saw for 5 years the challenges and difficulties that real estate agents have to put themselves in order to be able to succeed, right? Like you need to treat this seriously, and you need to block out time, because what I noticed, what I found is that the most successful agents time block for lead generation. If you're not time blocking for lead generation, and your schedule, you're allowing your schedule to take control, you're never going to have a consistent amount of business. So you need to time block it, and just allocate that time to putting the work together and doing it. So just keep yourself regimented. Every single week, I'm going to create 2 videos. I would recommend that if you're going to do that, use that strategy. the very first week of the month, you do a market update video. Next, in the next second half of the month, you do an educational video. Next part of the month, you'll do a community tour and a home tour, and then an educational video, and just mix it up like that, continually adding value for your avatar. But it's like anything. You have to be consistent with it. It's not something that's, and I think this is where probably a lot of agents will struggle, is it's not something that's generally or necessarily going to procure results immediately, which is the hard part, right? Because going out and making a video and working with an editor and putting it all together and stuff, right? This is time consuming. There's probably a financial element to it as well. But you just have to realize that if you just keep doing it and follow a procedure, follow a system, processes, and you will be successful. But if you're hit and miss and doing one every now and again, that's the kind of results that you'll be getting.
Right. Absolutely. Just like any other strategy, right? If you're not willing to be consistent with it, then you're not going to get consistent results. And I'm glad you brought that up, that YouTube is a slower strategy. It's a really powerful one, but you're not going to put a video out today and get it closing tomorrow from that video per se. So kind of from what you guys have seen, how long did it take just for your channel specifically to kind of get up and going and leads really start flowing in from the day that you started it to, a day where it really started getting consistent results?
I think we got our first, lead in within the first 3 months. And I closed on that lead, maybe a month or two later. And then it would go from, a phone call a month, to 2 a month, to 4 a month. And then it's now, I'd say we get right now, well, basically we close one in 4 leads that we get. Now, when I used to do Facebook advertising, it would be 1 in 42. So the amount of leads that we're getting is a lot less, but it's quality. All right. It's people that have been watching you for a long time. The best part of it is, and it's so trippy when you meet people, because they already know you, but you never met them. They're like, Kobe, I've been watching your channel for 6 months, like blah, 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 blah. And I mean, this is the best, right? You want all of your clients to like you, right? No one likes working with cranks and miserable people and stuff. What we found is like the people that call, well, let me put it this way. The people that don't like us don't call. And I think that's the best part about video marketing. The people that don't like you don't call, right? Like the people that are trolling our channel or, saying negative things or whatever, don't worry about it. They're not the ones that are calling. The people that call you feel like referrals, right? For anyone that's ever got a referral, like that's the best type of like client to work with, because it's come from someone that they already know, like, and trust, right? And they've said, work with Kobe, right? Like, he's amazing. He did blah, 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 right? And like, that is what video is able to do for you, right? It's able to nurture the clients for you over time. You're able to build this relationship up with the person, like see their mannerisms, like get to understand them. If I'm just have a Facebook ad that's like best pool homes in Las Vegas under $1 million, all I'm doing is, appealing to people that are looking for pool homes under $1 million. But those people might be difficult to work with. They might not be the types of people I want to work with. But with video is the total opposite. Like all of my clients now are friends. Like I've got more friends that are clients than I've got friends. Like it's amazing.
That's awesome, man. And yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest benefits of video is people that they already know you, and the people who do contact you, you just know you guys are going to hit it off because they've vetted you already. So they know they're going to like you. And, most of the time you're going to like them as well. Right. So it's a great thing. It's a really refreshing way to generate leads as opposed to all the other strategies that are out there. So kind of listening for our listeners out there who are listening to this that are really inspired to start their own channels or really inspired to scale their channels, what would you say are some tips? And I know this might be a general question, but what do you say are some tips for somebody who's just starting out to start their YouTube channel? What are some equipment they might need to get, some basic things that they need to have in order to, start shooting videos and start putting videos out there, like 2 to 3 a week, like you mentioned
Mhm.
earlier in the podcast?
Sure. Yeah. So I think don't get like scared that you need a fancy high-powered camera, right? Or $1,000 whatever. Our phones these days have got such good quality cameras built into them that you don't need to do anything other than use your iPhone or your Android, like use your smartphone. We started all of our, and probably I would still say over 80% of our videos are still all recorded on our smartphones. So if you've got a phone, right, with a video capability, then you're good enough to get going. The next bit of kit that you need is going to be called a gimbal, right? And now a gimbal, Gimbal, I think it is a stability controller. So when you're doing your home tour, you don't want the photo. My friends back home call me Steady Hand Steve because my hand shakes. You don't want like your shaky camera right on people's screen, and that's going to piss people off, and they're not going to want to watch and stuff like that. You want your quality of your videos that you produce to look really good. And a gimbal is going to allow you to do that. We use one from a company called DJI. And basically the gimbal just attaches or your phone attaches to the gimbal. And you can easily walk around a property, a community, whatever with it. And it creates nice, smooth, cinematic shots. Next thing you're going to want is a microphone, right? A wireless microphone. You don't want to be shouting into your phone and it picking up all the background noise, like, because we want to be producing like great quality videos, right? Good content that keeps people watching. And if the audio is off, then that's something that's gonna just turn people off immediately. So we use a set of microphones from a company. I don't know how you pronounce it, but I call it Rode, Rode. And they have a set of wireless microphones that can clip onto your your lapel on your shirt, onto a t-shirt, whatever. And that plugs back in. They've got a receiver that plugs into your iPhone, and you can operate, wherever you are. And I'd say the last thing that you need is a tripod. A tripod you can pick up on Amazon for $20. Your gimbal's going to cost you, maybe 100 odd. Your microphones, maybe 100 as well. So there's a little bit of a capital investment, but it's not much for you to be able to literally start a media company, right? When you think about it, like that's what you're able to do here. So once you've got those tools, then then you're off to the races.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's a lot easier than I think a lot of people think, right? Just the equipment that you need. Somebody might, view your channel or somebody else's channel who's really successful and they see, oh wow, do I need to go out there and, have an entire production crew with me or something like that? But no, it's just, our phones today, these shoot really good quality videos and you just need a couple other pieces of equipment, like we were talking about, like a microphone for audio quality and a gimbal to make sure if you're doing your home tours that nothing's too shaky. That's really all you need. And like you said, just a couple pieces of equipment, a little bit of investment, and you can start your own, your own real estate media company, which is super powerful. So
yeah, no, 100% agree.
yeah. Awesome, man. Well, Steve, I want to thank you for coming on the show and sharing your knowledge and your value with us. And hopefully, our listeners got a lot out of this and learned a lot from you. For anybody that is watching or listening to this, what are some of the best ways they can either follow you or maybe watch your YouTube channel and kind of learn a little more about what you guys are doing? And what are some of the best ways for people to reach out to you if they want to learn more about, building their YouTube channel and generating leads through YouTube?
Cool. Yeah. So I'd say the first thing is what we found is that everything that we have done is completely replicatable, right? you might be saying, oh, well, Steve, you've got an English accent. Like you're going to be, that's appealing, or your wife's beautiful. And, I'm not like that, or whatever. Right. You need to get over that, and like just start putting yourself out there. Now, in terms of like following us, you can follow our YouTube channel, the Thomas Group Las Vegas. You can find us there. That'll give you lots of tips and suggestions on types of content to create. You can see how we do our presenting, and all of that stuff. But I would say that for anyone that wants to start learning a little bit more, that needs someone that, that they need their hand holding a little bit. I'm just about to launch, or I actually should say, I just launched a business called reallymadeup.com. You can find that online. And this is a one-stop shop for real estate agents around the country, around the world, that want to generate business and success through YouTube. And it's basically a replica of our formula. I won't talk too much about it here because I know this is not the platform for it, but if someone wants to, learn a little bit more about that, reallymadeup.com, you can find out, you can learn about our strategies, the 3 secrets that we use to generate leads. And if there's anyone out there that is interested in joining a team, we're looking at expanding our real estate group all over the country, all around North America. So I would be, we would be putting a bit of quite a big financial investment into those people in basically helping them have the same success that we've had. So if anyone's interested in that side of it and would like to talk more, you can schedule a consultation with me on our real estate website, thethomasgrouplv.com. But yeah, I hope everyone, got some value from this. I would say don't be scared about anything. Like there's no growth that happens in the comfort zone, right? We all have to step outside of our comfort zones, where we always find growth. And just be consistent with what you do. Turn off the drunk monkey, the voice in your head that tells you not to do these things and that you're not good enough or whatever. And then just be consistent with what you do. Be authentic with who you are. Don't try and be somebody else. Just be yourself. And when you start doing all of those things and looking at it as a funnel and directing them, like, success is on your horizon.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Steve. Make sure to check all that out in the description down below. I want to thank you again for being here, sharing your value. And I want to thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys on the next show. Take care.